just can't.
But David's my friend.
Do you have
he
a story
writes
for
me.
me or not?
I hate to break it to you, but his PA's the one who signs all those cards and headshots. Mr. Barron's a very busy and important guy.
But I came...
Welcome to SSNN, where the news never sleeps. If you're part of the David Barron fan club, try not to inflate his ego too much. He's liable to burst.
That's all I can do.
You are...
A cog in the machine. If you mean literally, Nadia Mufaz, head researcher of the office. So if we got any facts wrong, I'm the one who files your complaint into the shredder. Sorry. Long day. Longer night. How about a do-over? Let's take a look at you. You're not from around here. My guess is you work, really work, for a living. I bet you have a story or two. I have a feeling about such things. Tommy? Tommy did something useful? So you must be the captain of the... Frontier? Rumor is there was a firefight at a mining installation. I'm interested only in primary sources. So things you've seen and or done that are newsworthy. No hearsay. So, what do you got for me? Looks like some Crimson Fleet brainiac figured out it's easier to hit stationary targets than dogfighting in the field. And you are an eyewitness with the courtesy to find us instead of being chased down. Refreshing. So what were the pirates doing there? It's not their usual MO. Bad blood between the fabled Constellation and the Crimson Fleet? Has all the markings of what we in the SSNN call a story. So what's your role in all this? Part of a tour group? Ah, the old anonymous source. A dance I know all too well. So we've covered the basics. How about any harrowing tales of daring do? How'd a bunch of miners triumph? How heartwarming. Constellation banding together with some dusty miners? I like it. This is a good local story. Plucky miners band together and punch above their weight. If you ever get more stories like this, drop by. And take this to cover any incidentals, or other creative ways to pad out an expense report. My source is back. Here to report anything else? You certainly get around. I'm surprised that branch has any customers left the number of times it's been held up. But I thought the Rangers had finally managed to get a handle on it. I heard there was a standoff. That true? I'd say I'm surprised, but this is my total lack of surprise face. What happened to the robbers? The Shaw gang? Wait, what? You cleaned them out? Jesus. I'm sorry, but I might have to dig up some witnesses to confirm that. Anyway, these things are often messy. Any customers or Galbank staff get hurt? That's really good news. Usually, well, it's a different kind of story. You were there. You were involved in resolving it. Any comment on the Freestar Rangers? Having another high-profile robbery in their own backyard is a bit of a black eye. Huh. That's really good to know. Stories like this always fire up public outrage and appetite. Thanks for the interview. And take this. You talk and get paid, I spread the news. It's a classic win-win. Dear Lord, everyone wants to know about Baron. He's a smart guy. He cares about what he's reporting. He's way too damn cozy with the UC, and that's a problem for us staying impartial. My biggest beef with him is he's credited with everything he reports, and he doesn't lift a finger to correct that impression. We're short-staffed, overworked, and trying to report on a million things at once. Not to mention there's a constant battle with the powers that be to maintain our journalistic principles. So, things are just swell. I'm working on an investigative piece about some of the businesses in the Well right now. Trying to get a handle on how things are in that part of the city. I'm not sure the story will get off the ground, though. I asked the higher-ups if I could go down there for some interviews, but they said it's too dangerous. They'd probably be all for it if David asked. Would you really? I'd owe you big time if you did. You've been a huge help on my other stories. I'm sure you'd do great. Great. I had 3 interviewees in mind. Teresa Mason, the owner of Kay's house, Henrik Zoran at Apex Electronics, and Nurse O'Shea from the Medbay. You don't need to ask too many tough questions. I just want to read on how their businesses are doing, and how things are in the Well. I really can't thank you enough.
Welcome to SSNN.
Can I help you with something?
That sounds great.
Private sector. Now that's where the real work is at.
Everyone's welcome, so long as you keep your hands to yourself. Understand?
Always nice to see a fresh face around here. You stop in whenever you'd like.
How's it going? No shortage of hungry mouths to feed around here. Keeps us on our toes. Nothing else? Mom, that's Kay, gets all the credit. Started making sure people felt welcome back when I was just a kid. She had one rule: no causing trouble. Everyone abided by it, put their differences aside when they came through the door. After a few years of feeding so many mouths, we needed extra credits to stay afloat. Didn't mean for this to turn into a business, but here we are. If folks are willing to pay a little to have someplace to feel safe and get a decent meal, well then we'll sure take it. Absolutely. I'm sure my mom would be proud to have the place featured in an article. What's up? Business is steady, as usual. We don't tolerate violence or disrespect, so a lot of folks like to spend time here. The only thing that's worrying me is a new group of customers I've seen hanging around lately. They've been watching the UC surplus store pretty closely. I have a bad feeling they might be planning something. Kay's house has a reputation as a safe place. I don't want to be associated with that kind of thing. Honestly, I'd really appreciate that. I'd feel terrible if something happened and I hadn't done anything to try to stop it. Why don't you come by when you have some spare time? And we'll talk it out. Yeah, sure thing. I'm Teresa Mason, and this is my home. My mom's the Kay who founded Kay's house. I grew up here along with the business. My mom passed the place on to me when she decided to retire. Running it is my pride and joy. I've put everything I have into it. Same as ever. I've lived in the well my whole life, and things have never really changed. The UC government promises to clean the place up every couple years, but there's still just as much crime and poverty as there was when I was a kid. That's why Kay's house is so important. It's the one place people in the well feel safe. Be sure to put that in the article, okay? I'm really proud of it. Great. Let me know when the article comes out, will you? I'd like to read it.
Do you know why this place has stood for so long? I make sure everyone's comfy. I tell it like it is, and I don't take any shit. Stay as long as you like, and don't be a stranger.
If you
Folks
haven't,
gotta
make
look
sure you
out
say
for
hello to
one
Mama.
another.
She likes to.
That's why I started serving food all those years ago.
Exhausting. Don't call me Al.
You can call me Allie or Grace, just not Al.
I help out Henrik from time to time.
Al
Very
sounds
often
like a
these
mechanic
days.
who uses his shirt
That's
as a
fine.
snot rag.
Don't
Al
mind
sounds like
me.
the guy whose favorite
Just a
instrument is an
weary man,
armpit.
resting
Al
his feet.
sounds like...
All right, Miss Alta.
Maybe a little, but that's not such a bad thing, is it? Better than all the noise and attention topside, if you ask me. Oh, Henrik is an old friend of mine. I help out around here from time to time. But I don't just loiter around. I'm involved in my own business endeavor as well. Unfortunately, I'm quite old-fashioned. I only deal with associates that I know and trust. But if you do a small favor for me, I might feel comfortable opening my business up to you. All you need to do is pick up a package from Red Mile and deliver it to me. You don't even need to interact with anyone. The contents are of no interest to you, and they're not contraband if that's what you're wondering. If you're uncomfortable doing this favor, you're free to decline. I'm not at liberty to discuss that yet, but I assure you, It's quite lucrative. Fantastic. I eagerly await your return. Stay out of trouble.
No loitering, okay? I don't have the patience for it. Can't say I'll have what you need, but you're welcome to look. That's so. Think folks down here are too poor to afford electronics. Not the first time I heard that line. Yeah, I get that kind of attitude far too often. You find yourself with any more commentary, feel free to keep it to yourself. Well, then maybe we should just stick to business, huh? A reporter? Fine, but I'm only talking basics. I don't like people snooping around my business. Door's still open, isn't it? That's my idea of success. Sorry if you were hoping for something more flowery. Name's Henrik. I own Apex Electronics. That's all I'm willing to say to some nosy reporter. How the hell do you think? Life's a mess down here. I'm not holding my breath for it to get any better. Great! Now why don't you help me out and buy something? I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Stock's a bit low, so you might find yourself disappointed. Happy to make a deal if I can. Stay safe out there.
Signed up for a test pilot program just the other day. I'm not gonna end up like these lifers and well rats.
I've got limited resources. I try not to turn anyone away just because they like me. We're doing the best we can here. That's all we can ever do. A journalist? That's a surprise. Most people don't think anything that goes on in the well is worth writing about. I'd be happy to help if I can. Things are always rough at the med bay. I'm the closest thing to a doctor that the well has, and I can't treat everyone. The last few weeks have been especially bad. There's some kind of infection going around, and a lot of kids down here are catching it. It just breaks my heart to see. Oh, you're sweet to offer. There might be something you can do, if you're willing. Let's chat again when you have some time to spare, all right? Sure, if you'd like. My name's Talia. I was born and raised right here in the well. I've been the nurse here at the med bay for over a decade now. Once upon a time, I was a combat medic for the UC Navy. When the colony war ended, I came back to the well to put my skills to use for the people here. Things are always the same in the well. Violent and dangerous. I swear I treat more injuries here than I did when I was a Navy medic. All right, dear. You let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. 3 gunshots this week alone. I guess we know where UC Security's priorities are, and aren't. Don't have much of a choice. Can't afford to pay staff, and while I've got a few volunteers from the community, I can only ask so much of them. We've scraped by for a good long while now, and we'll continue to do so. Don't you worry. Funny story about that. You know, when people first arrived on Jemison, they dismantled the colony ship and used the parts to establish a place to live. Over time, they built out, and up, and up, and after long enough, they started to forget about the people and the things still down here. The walls and the ceiling have changed, but this place still uses equipment from that old ship. And it's here because not everyone in New Atlantis can afford Reliant Medical. We're no Reliant Medical down here, but if you've got credits, I might have something for you. Oh, you remembered. I'm touched, dear, really. Yes, there's absolutely something you can do to help. All the children seem to have the same stomach bug, but I'm having trouble diagnosing it. Pediatrics isn't my specialty. But one of my colleagues, Dr. Lebedev, is an expert. If I had his research notes, I'm sure I could diagnose the disease and find a treatment. He works topside at Reliant Medical. It's easy to find. It's right between Mast and Orion Tower. Dr. Lebedev is always there. I've seen an uptick in cases of sick children in the medbay recently. They all seem to be presenting the same symptoms, but I can't identify the cause. It isn't serious enough to kill them, but I haven't found an effective treatment yet. That has me worried. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'd go myself, but I can't leave the medbay unattended.
The overdraft fees at Galbank are out of control.
Sometimes that's just how things are.
Scattered farms throughout the Freestar Collective.
Spacious ship. But then I realized my tank's broken.
No, I'm not feeling that bad.
The majority of citizens here in New Atlantis count on Reliant Medical. I believe our reputation speaks for itself. Welcome to Reliant. If you're in need of medical assistance or require supplies, I am sure we can accommodate you. Reliant has developed a regimen to acclimate individuals like you to full gravity. It's a routine procedure and irreversible. Take all the time you need. It's a big decision. Welcome to Reliant. If you're in need of medical assistance or require supplies, I am sure we can accommodate you. Well, everyone knows Reliant, largest medical provider in the settled systems. They've spent decades advancing medical science with their research division, and have built an entire supply network to keep us all healthy. They've always been quite proud to work here. Well, of course, New Atlantis is a big place. Lots of people, which means no shortage of injuries, communicable diseases. But we're well staffed and do our best to accommodate anyone who needs help. Well, you've certainly come to the right place. A medical problem Talia can't solve. I never thought I'd see the day. How can I help? We've been professional acquaintances for a long time. She's an excellent nurse. If the well didn't need her so badly, I'd have offered her a job here ages ago. Sick children. Well, we can't have that. I'd be happy to help. Let's see. A stomach bug. I've treated plenty of those. I keep extensive notes. I'm sure I have something that can help. Ah, yes, here we go. This should do the trick. I've uploaded some of my notes on common stomach issues in pediatric patients to this slate. Please, pass it on to Talia. She can keep it. And give her my best, will you? I hope everything works out for those kids. Welcome to Reliant. If you're in need of medical assistance or require supplies, I am sure we can accommodate you. We should have everything you need. So, what brings you in today? All right, little patching up, you'll be all set. Reliant Medical is always here if you need us. Take care of yourself.
telling myself that Reliant Medical is top-notch.
They're always about a million years old.
If you need help. I've got limited resources. I try not to turn anyone away just because they're light on credits. Really? Let's see. Ah, this is perfect. I knew Dr. Lebedev would have what I needed. I'll have this solved in no time with these notes for reference. Thank you so much, dear. Really. I couldn't have done this without you.
Of it. I've got friends who fought in the colony war after all.
Your ship is way bigger than Dad's.
Hey, good to see you.
Yeah, what is it?
Hey, Dad. Want to hear a poem I wrote? It's called a haiku. I just read about them.
A haiku?
Okay. It's called Space. Starships fly there like comets, carrying us home.
Not bad. Hey, will you write it down so I can carry it?
Stay in orbit or jump. You're cool. I'll copy down too. You know it. Those things. I still don't know how you lost that picture of Nibbles the comet-eating bunny.
Drive is spinning down.
Jumpers. Ship, you entered 3-star collective space. Maintain your current course while we scan for contraband. Alright, we're done. Have a good time in Neon.
to standard engines. Beginning landing cycle.
Use caution when approaching any creatures we may encounter in this region. Achieving orbit now.
Be advised, you are entering United Colonies space. Please maintain course and prepare to be scanned. All right, we're done. You're cleared to land at New Inlet. You will be scanned as you enter the city.
Dealing in art is exciting.
Another day, another shift.
You'll be free to peruse my wares once. It's a quaint shop, isn't it? I like. Ah, excellent. I see you've held up your end of the bargain, so I'll do the same. Salinas Hardware is now open for business. I'll unlock the door for you. Feel free to come around and peruse my wares anytime. I help out Henry from time to time. Not very often these days. But that's... Okay then. Come on back. Let's keep this just between us, all right?
weapon combat tech won't make.
Got a call, someone's power currently going out.
Who you seen?
If you have another story for me? Hey, that's great. Thanks so much. Did everything go all right? That's why stories like this one are so important. If people knew what was going on down there, maybe they'd want to help fix it. I can't thank you enough for helping me out. I'll send you a copy of the story if it gets published. There's nothing like seeing your name in print. Back to the grind.
Everyone's welcome, so long as you keep your hands to yourself. Understand? No causing trouble in here.
Always
No
nice
shortage
to
of
see a
hungry
fresh
mouths to
face
feed around here.
You
Keeps us
stop
on our
in
toes.
whenever you
Nothing else?
like.
Would you? I'd really appreciate it. I saw them hanging around the UC surplus earlier today. They sure looked suspicious to me. They've been coming here regularly for the last couple weeks, and all they do is sit on the balcony and watch the UC surplus. I thought I heard them mention a robbery, but I'm not sure. They seem to know I'm onto them, so they stop talking about it when I'm around. I'd rather you didn't. I want to make sure I'm right about this before we go to security. But I have to be sure they're up to something before I get the authorities involved. I don't want to get anyone on security's bad side for no reason. Why don't you do a little sleuthing for me? Maybe you'll have better luck eavesdropping on them than I did. We can decide what to do once we figure out if they're really up to something.
Maybe I should just get out and go really pissed. Set up on a move away from everyone else.
Yeah, how it goes. Just one quiet day. That too much to ask for?
I don't know, Isaac. Seems like a tough joint to crack. Nah, that's just what they want you to think, Louis. You see security around here? No, but nothing. I say we strike while the iron's hot. I got a feeling that goody two-shoes at Kay's place is gonna rat us out. Hey, we're having a private conversation here. Get lost. What are you, some kind of tourist? It's the UC surplus. They sell old military crap. Robbing the place? What, you crazy? Couple of sweet-faced guys like us? Not a chance. Get your ears checked, pal.
Yeah, get your ears checked. Besides, if we're gonna rob the place, it's not like we talked to you about it. I mean,
Who'd plan a robbery in the middle of the street, right? Louis. So help me, if you say one more word, I'll drag you topside and drown you in the waterfall. And you, I thought I told you to get lost. Stay out of our business, or you'll be the one getting robbed. Rick's info is good, so be a piece of cake.
I've never seen anybody else try something like this. Scram, pal.
I've just about had enough of you doubting me, Louis.
If you say so, Isaac.
If we pull this off, we'll be swimming.
If you haven't, make sure you say hello to Mama. She likes checking in with everyone. Damn. I was hoping I had it wrong. I guess that settles it. We have to get the authorities involved before they can go through with the robbery. You should take this straight to Officer Endler at the security office. He'll look into it. If he gives you a hard time, tell him I sent you to make the report. That'll get him on your side. Sort of. He's a regular customer, and I've reported crimes to him before. He's more fair-minded than most of the Wells security officers. Head out the door and turn left. It's all the way at the end of the street. You can't miss it. No, I don't want you to hurt them. They haven't even done anything wrong yet. The last thing the Well needs is more violence. Just do what I asked and take this to Officer Endler.
You're out there a lot, right? In space? Just do us all a favor and never turn into one of those spacers. Scum of the galaxy. Robbing, stealing,
What I wouldn't
killing.
give to be stationed in the
Crimson
Embassy
Fleet don't
District.
trust 'em.
Well, that's what we're here for. What's going on? The UC surplus. You sure about that? It's been a long time since someone was stupid enough to rob that place. That's so. Nobody in the Well's more reliable than Teresa. If she says there's a problem, I believe it. You can tell her I'm personally looking into it. That should ease her mind. Those thieves won't be so cocky with security on patrol.
That was quick. How'd things go with Officer Endler? I knew I could count on him. He always handles this kind of thing fairly. Thanks for your help with this. I feel a lot better knowing security's on patrol down there. Alrighty. What can I get you?
Been up there, huh? Space? Must be cool. I never get to go to space.
I don't think I've got any words. Maybe next time.